Good morning, traders and investors. In the previous video, we discussed the 5 top stocks that I think will outperform in the next 12 to 36 months. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how I would allocate $10,000 into these 5 stocks. As always, I'm Norbert Meinhardt. I build and protect wealth right here at Wealth Done. Like, subscribe, and let's get started with the video. So for this, I'm going to use my own tool of portfolio management. And this is just a clean slate where we're going to add to this and build a portfolio out of 5 stocks. Now, those 5 stocks are Meta, MercadoLibre, Netflix, Brookfield Corporation, so not Brookfield Asset Management, but Brookfield Corporation, and of course, Amazon. So let's get started I'm going to remove my face right here because it's just messing up the video, but I'm still here, just the voice. So first of all, let's get started with Meta. Now, this video is recorded on Sunday. The market is closed and Meta closed at $609. We have no indications of the pre-market where this would be, so we're going to assume that it's going to open around here $600 something. Now it's currently on an RSI on the dailies, oversold, trying to trigger back here a buying signal. So I would say that this is a pretty good opportunity to add some Meta shares. We have a great zone of resistance down here. So if Meta comes down even more, personally, I'm going to add furthermore to my Meta shares. But once again, this is just a dummy portfolio. My personal portfolio is not here. This is just for showing purposes only. And by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, just an example how I would allocate at current moment $10,000. Okay, so Meta shares 609. Let's open up the portfolio manager. And for Meta, I would allocate 25%. Yes, you heard me right. 25% for Meta. So 25% from $10,000 would be $2,500. So let's bring up here a calculator. We have $2,500 divided by $609. That would mean roughly 4 shares for Meta. So let's add here the ticker symbol Meta, then the company Meta Comp. It is in a information and technology sector. Quantity will be 4. The average cost will be 609. Current price 609. And we said that this should be 25%. Now I'm going to add this to portfolio. So we have a complete portfolio of only informational technology, with Meta being 100% of the portfolio. And down here we added Meta as 4 shares, $609, and a total value of $2,436. So we're going to subtract this $2,400 from the $10,000, leaving us, we're just going to hit here minus and $10,000 with, let me just refresh this, so 10,000 minus the 2,436, going to leave us with $7,564 to be allocated. Okay, so we see here we have invested $2,436 and we still have $7,564 of cash wanted to be allocated. So the next stock I'm going to add is Amazon. Now, if you have followed, just check out the previous video. I already told everything, each and every conviction, each and every pro and con, long and short term thesis on each of these stocks. So please check out the previous video. What I'm going to do here is look for a couple of zones. So first things first, we are going to allocate it right now. So that the price of $235 a share is where it's currently at. So I'm going to use that price. But I wouldn't mind later on allocating even more if it comes down to this 200-day moving average. And if it comes down here in this resistance zone, $180 a share. Will Amazon come down? I don't know. But I would like to have some Amazons in my portfolio. So that's what I'm going to do. Open up the portfolio manager. I want to have also 25% of Amazon due to, well, you should check out the previous video. So we have $7,564 left, and we know 25% of $10,000 is $2,500. So once again, I'm going to take the $2,500, divide it by the stock price, with $235 a share, 235, and then we're going 10 shares. We also could buy fractional shares, but we're going to stick with normal shares here. And we're going to use the rest of from here somewhere else. So we can buy 10 shares of AMZN. There's a ticker symbol, Amazon. This is in consumer services. We said we're going to have 10 at the price of 235, and 25%. Let's add it. And now we can subtract from our current cash the value of $2,350. And that would be from $7,564 minus the $2,350. We still have $5,214. Next up, I'm going to add a really expensive stock, and that is MercadoLibre. So MercadoLibre had a really good sell-off, and I already specified the reasons why I want to own this stock. But this is a $2,053 stock currently. Somewhere its highs was at $2,600 a share. The really expensive stock, and I want like to allocate 20% of my portfolio to this stock. This is going to be an expensive buy, and of course we can only buy one share. And I would say this is a very good zone. It is actually at an exceptionally good resistance zone right here. Actually a support zone. So let's go into the portfolio. Let's add here MELI, the symbol MELI. That is MercadoLibre. Now this is actually in a financial sector. For more on this, check out my previous video. And we can only add one share because the share, as I already showed you, is at $2,053. That is a lot. I would like to have more. I personally do have more, but currently with this, that's all we can allocate to it. And we said we want 20%. Let's add it to the portfolio. And there we go. We have Meta, Amazon, and MercadoLibre. Now to the next stock. The next one is the juggernaut. The one, the only, I would say even the next Berkshire Hathaway. Well, not quite, because their structure is a bit different, but let's bring out Brookfield Corporation, the juggernaut. Currently 44.28 cents, $44.28. So let's add this to the portfolio. Now I'm going to allocate for this only 15%. So ticker symbol is BN. Oh, and I forgot, we need to trim this down because from our $5,000, we need to subtract a whopping $2,035, leaving us with $3,179. So ticker symbol BN, Brookfield Corp. And this is actually almost a ETF that doesn't really have a sector because it's in healthcare, it is in financials, it's in wealth building, it is in utilities, it's in everything. So I'm going to add it as an ETF. Now we want to have 15%, that's $1,500, and at this current price of $44.28 a share, that means, let's get here, $1,500 divided by 44.28, meaning we're going to get 33 shares. So let's add them to the portfolio. Quantity, 33, 44.28, 44.28, and 15%. Let's add it. All right, so we have left from $3,179, we're going to subtract our $1,461.24, and we have left $1,717 for us to allocate in the last one, which is, of course, Netflix. Now you see this red candle right here. No, this is not a price dump. This is because Netflix just had a 1-to-10 stock split, meaning from a $11,000 a share stock, it is currently now at $111, also 70 cents. And if this is not the perfect moment to add for some long term, remember this entire portfolio, all these $10,000 is for 12 to 36 months. So if in the next 3 months something happens to the stock market, or in the next 6 months something happens to the stock market, it shouldn't bother you if you're building this portfolio because your horizon is over 1 year. So at $111 a share, we're going to add now Netflix to our portfolio. NFLX, Netflix, and yes, this is also information and technology. Actually, it's more communication services, but we're going to leave it at informational technology. And we have now $1,700. So if we divide this by 107, we're going to get 15 shares. Let's go ahead, add 15 shares at 111.7, 111.7, and 15%. Add it. There we go. Let's see how much money do we have left after from 1,100 from 1,717.76. We're going to subtract the 1,775.5. We are left with $42, which sadly cannot add to one more Brookfield share. But hey, when the market opens, these prices are going to change. So maybe we're going to get some better prices. Okay, now let's take a look at our portfolio. We have a portfolio value of $9,957 invested and 74 cents and $42.26 of cash still opened. And we just bought ourselves 5 stocks. The biggest holding is in the information and technology sector. Then the second largest is in communication and consumer staples. Then we have financials, and we have our last sector, which is that Brookfield, which is almost an ETF, I would say. Yeah, so diversified that with this simple stock purchase, we are also only 5 stocks really diversified. Now, don't forget, if a economic crisis hits us, it doesn't matter how diversified you are, because nothing of this will matter. Everything is going to go down. So on the right side, we can see that we are a bit overweighted in Netflix, we're underweighted in Brookfield, we're overweighted in MercadoLibre, underweighted in Amazon, underweighted in Meta. But that's just a couple of percent. If you would like to ask yourself, when should you rebalance this portfolio, filter them after target weighting, I would say after hitting 100%, so basically doubling. If this of 25%, 50%, then you could think about rebalancing the portfolio and adding it, or even opening new positions. And now I'm also back, but when that day comes, you're going to be very, very thankful, or even not. Let the day come and let you be thankful. I'm Norbert Menhart. I build and protect wealth. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give this a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Catch you next time right here on Wealth Tom for more portfolio building. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.